Hello YouTube and welcome to a live cast of the second match between Flix and Astartes and in Div 3 playoffs. And Bavarian is writing, he's editing some SD2 videos, very good. And Flix plays with second Indianhead on Maverick income against Astartes with Nordland on balanced income. The map is Orsha North. So this is going to be interesting. Flix actually banned the 28th Jäger. Maybe he's seen Curse playing with them. And so also thanks a lot for everyone in the chat for joining. And obviously also thank you for watching this on YouTube. With the live casts, there's an automatic delay on. Yeah, they banned Slav. Yeah, 20th Jäger is also one of my favorite divisions simply because I am a Jäger, so I'm biased. So here we go. Let's speed things up a little as much as we can. So if Flix wins this match, then he will proceed to the next round, and if he does not, then there will be a third match. I'm not sure if they've kind of agreed on playing the second match right after that, or if they will play at a different time. Here you can see the pros. Very good deployment here, even though, yeah, that's the same speed as this one, right? 80 kilometers. Engineers come in the half track. We get the M8s for... Oh, Bava will play against Vincent, interesting, on Sunday. Yeah, on the left hand side it's Astartes. He deploys the Puma Puma actually, and the MG42 Expression, 2 cards of Panzergrants with the MG26 Flammenwerfer. Yeah, so this weekend is full of Steel Division or Simulated Divisions League Steel Division 2 action. And Curse is also playing on Sunday. Bavarian is playing. And Vincent. So lots of top matches. I don't yet know when I will be playing. Because Node Commander and Philly Marauders still need to play. The Tenor against Insha on Friday. That's actually tonight then. That's going to be very interesting as well. Lots of flamethrowers here. So it looks to me as if with all these flamethrowers, Flix intends to push into the town. And he did bring the basics. And Luan says, yeah, so a long week for casters then. Yeah, that's true. If there's time to cast a lot, I think luckily quite a few people are casting also on YouTube and stuff. So lots of games can be covered, I hope. So yeah, I rushed back home from work. I finished work a bit earlier with flexible hours in order to be here on time. It was a bit tight, but it worked out. So there's Stück 4 already in the initial deployment. Which makes me think that he wants to push here. So on Orsha North, you need to secure your sites basically. And the red player has the chance to push into the town or come from this side as well. You need to pay attention to this windmill, and usually the blue player puts an AT gun in here, so you need to smoke or suppress. And there's already a puck, so I bet it's going to go here. You should be able to hold the hill. Blue can usually snatch this flag and potentially this one, and it's a bit difficult for red to defend this flag because of the lines of sight. You know, blue can sneak into here. You actually need to have stuff here, and with the initial deployment it's very difficult to put something here on the edge of the forest. Yeah, it seems like he's going to push for this complex here, and also for this forest potentially, with all these flamethrowers, 3 flamethrowers, 4 flamethrowers. And it really looks as if Flix is pushing on that town, possibly down both lanes with regards to the amount of units. He did decide to go for Sherman early on and a tank destroyer. Yeah, this is and then good counter for the Stück 4. The Stück 4 is a really good option because it has 100mm front armor. So it usually denies the Sherman, but the tank destroyer can show you. Oh, I can. The tank destroyer can shoot through, and the Sherman can't, unless it's a super lucky shot at close distance. Yeah, this is a standard defensive deployment here. I guess he wants to cover these roads, and because Astartes is most likely going to push through here, maybe a bit supplemented by fire from the hill to deny access from here. These forces will most likely actually clash. Okay, let's speed up as much as we can. Yeah, and there we go. The battle has started. Quick look at the deployment. Yes, very aggressive deployment here by Flix on the town. And yeah, I would have expected this to be a bit more aggressive on these positions. It's just 1 unit going in here. And this is going to be decisive. He wants to push all those 3 flamethrowers through and potentially position the M8s here in cover. The sniper will have a hard time. The flamethrower is there to support it. Barely any, not much deployment in the north. First shots being fired by the Flammenwerfer, killing the sniper. Oh, sorry, by the EMG. It was somewhere here. The EMG, I think, killed the sniper. Couldn't even unload. And here's the main clash. Yes, Flix managed to get into this building. What did they... question by Lejamin. What did they replace the swastika with on Nordland's symbol? Well, this is supposed to be a cross, and I activate the low violence mod in the options, so that replaces the swastika on the flags, because I'm streaming from Germany and it's most likely a criminal offense to stream a swastika in a leisure environment like a stream. It's a bit uncertain, but it's most likely illegal and a criminal offense. The only problem is you still have it on the planes, so well, it's not a problem to me. I would prefer playing with it, but for historical accuracy, the number 11, I think, as it was 11th diff. Oh, that actually looks like an 11 here. First plane, the jet bomber in A deployment. Good smoke here by Astartes. Those positions are rather secure, but Flix lost all his M8s, but he didn't lose the momentum. The puck actually went into here, no puck here. He went for the Puma instead. And as I've predicted, these flags here easily, or this one flag easily falls to the blue player, in this case Astartes. Really nice deployment here of the Ranger Marauder. And Bofors coming in. Lots of pinned down units, but the Sherman goes down. That's a huge loss. This is a good artillery placement, AT placement here. So when you play against second Indianhead, you always have to think about those Marauders. Now, mortars are coming in. It's 14-10 for Flix. Despite having lost his flag here, he managed to get a foothold in the town. And I think if you are playing on this side, you have to play aggressively, because I think it puts you at a disadvantage. It can also be an interesting option to kind of push through the forest. It also depends on the division, obviously. So if you have lots of good forest fighters and CQC units, go through here and you get this flag and potentially this flag, and you get nice firing positions here on the supply road. Now he brings more CQC. It's back to 12-12 because this engineer is in no man's land. Yeah, the sniper loss hurt. It's very, very difficult to deploy in here. It usually doesn't work, I think. At least I can't deploy in here. So what you can try to do is also try to get a supporting unit into here, like an IG gun, for example. And so that you get some supporting fire. There's a howitzer coming as well. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. It could also deal with some of these units, maybe. In the meantime, Astartes is reinforcing in the south and also probing. This is brave with the SPW, because there could be a Marauder, but there's not. The engineer could kill it with the AG shells. As you can see, in the meantime, I've changed the options as well, so you can actually see the armor value and the penetration value. And now Flix has to invest quite a few points here in order to take back these flags and not lose this one. Reinforcing here with an HMG. It's a good position here. Nice micro. So change that last second. The SPWs are no match, while the half-tracks are no match for the SPWs. Now the basics are being called in. Still 12-12. 6 minutes, 15 seconds into the game. First P-47D. Going for the SPW. They've been like the major threat so far. There we go. Nice micro, but it is not enough. Mortar starts firing. Now the HMG is starting to shoot as well. Sherman's still alive. To safeguard this, he needs to pay attention to the front line in case he sneaks in something. The Jagdpanzer shooting at the tank destroyer? No, at the flamethrower. Okay. And also in the south, the push continues. It's now a push and not a probing attack any longer. And Flix will need to reinforce here. He will need some armor. I think we will see a Sherman. Because otherwise he won't hold this position. Town in the north. Yeah, there's now a nice Sherman replacement basically. HMG goes down to the puck. Another run of the jet bomber. Oh, let me zoom. Oh, I can't really zoom into it. Well. It did get off its bomb load. Kind of destroying some of the buildings. Just about not enough to capture the flag just yet. And somewhere was a ping. Defense speaking, okay. Astartes spotted the Bofors. And the one Bofors is not enough to deny an Arado. Yeah, Le Jamais says he really bombed the flamer with an Arado. Yeah, he did. And his own flamer as well, so 2 flamers actually. But he didn't know what's in here and wanted to win the flag, giving him the lead. And Barbarian is not a big fan of the 11th. It's a bit lackluster and borderline boring. What do you do with 11th? Drop atomic bombs. Yeah, until you get actually shot down. Ooh, GMC goes down. And Yepko Astartes managed to capture this flag down here. Interestingly, did Flix maybe run out of tanks? He did not bring any armor. And there's a Stück 4 advancing now as well. Tank destroyer fighting against the EMG. The puck went down. I think there was a puck here before as well. But he held the ground in the north and is now advancing and circling this MG26 unit. The advantage of this is, you can shoot below 100 meters and it's also a lower rate of fire, so you don't run out of ammo just as quickly. Yeah, and the focus now here is by both players, I think, is in the south. As you can see, all the armor starts moving, including the flak units. Yeah, and the base or the leader will go down as well. Yeah, I think a Sherman is very much needed now. With the stabilizers, they are quite decent at CQC, and there come the Rhinos. Yeah, and Vincent notices that Astartes is not doing much with his mortars. That's actually true. He could have, well, he did. I think he did shoot once or twice at this position before he called in the Arado. So Flix now, he can't know. And this mortar this mortar is not doing anything. Flix now really needs to push here. This could give him the edge in the north, because he's 14-10 behind against the balanced player, and now it's Maverick time to shine in B phase. So second half of B phase, he would need to do a decisive push. The Rhinos are double vetted. Actually, this engineer leader surprisingly survived, because apparently this was withdrawn, the SPW. Yeah, still no mortar fire. Oh, the SPW goes down to the frag HE shells. So this is a very, very smart positioning, because if an armored vehicle like the SPWs come here and start being able to shoot at the engineer can throw his grenades. But this is a very solidified position here now. Flix coming in with the Bofors support in the north. I think that Astartes marked the Bofors, but did not shell it a single time. Ah, okay. Sherman's killed the SPW. Ah, I see. Okay, thank you. Yeah, the chat noticed, Reef and Barbarian, that the Rhinos, while moving, shot down the SPW. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I thought it's this guy, but it wasn't. Another Arado. Where will the bomb fall? The sound effect is really nice. And there's Gabby. Yeah, Gabby goes down to the Flag Fire and the Focke-Wulf. So in the chat, please disregard this Stream Elements notification. That's for the Battle Brothers stream, and didn't deactivate it. So this was a very painful loss, and I don't think that Indianhead, he will have that many fighters. Astartes managed to hold the ground here, but will the Ranger Marauder be able to kill the Stup? Yes, he will. This was a very, very good and important kill. Flix did lose his Sherman though, somewhere here. But he did manage to get this flag. Still no mortar fire. While one mortar fire was here, 20 shells left. Flix did manage to get this flag back, so it's 12-12 now. Lots of reinforcements coming into the south as Astartes tries to reinforce his push. One Rhino went down. Sherman's is a dying machine, says Barbarian. And Vincent and Reef think it's not looking that good for Flix. Yeah, he's in a tough spot right now. I think he needs to, he actually needs to take back the town. There are quite some defensive units here, but still, it should be possible. Now this mortar is shooting at the open ground. Smokes. Still 12-12. Flix desperately needs to, in the next 5 minutes, needs to solidify the town, and then it's not too bad if he loses this and then just holds everything else, but it's going to be very difficult, particularly here. Now the Vielfachwerfer is on fire. I think it's a blind shot at the town. And this Vielfachwerfer, I don't know if it's super effective. Might kill the flamethrower. No. Unless this one hits. It does not. And incredibly, damn Pack 40 in the north down in transport. Oh. Yeah. You can see. Yeah, and he follows it up with a push. One unload to get vision. There's smoke. Now counter with the P-47D bombers. Going for the HMG, that's a good hit. Now the howitzer, will it kill the Jagdpanzer? Possibly not. I think the hit chance, is it like 20%, 30%? Yeah, and there's the hit. Bazooka coming in, but there are actually no tanks. These shitty tiny flags are, I think, incredibly annoying. Triple vetted. More than good enough against the fighters. Now more reinforcements coming here to capture the town. The mortar is still too silent, I think. He could potentially even give it a smart order to defend. Yeah, and Reef already calling the GG. Here's a little pushback, but with the rifles late, it's not going to be enough. And the push in the town was successful. Now the Sturmpioneers will hold this against the rifles. P-38 dead, both Shermans in South dead. This is not a position to win, Reef says. And Curse agrees. The very end suggests to spam more and think less. Yeah, now bazookas coming in. Yeah, the oh, actually the Sturmpioneer went down. This in a good. Oh, Flix needs to move his heavy MG a little bit. Oh no, it's the smoke. Okay, good smoke here. There's another Arado run, possibly going for the engineers. Now Flix applying pressure with the half track. This is really good, a really good play. The engineer goes down, but Flix solidified this northern position. It will be difficult to push him out with the M1 gun being here, and then also some AT capabilities here with the Ranger Marauder. And Vincent asked, why has he bazookas in his deck when he has Marauders? Maybe he wants even more AT capabilities. Now the Rhino, oh. Now the Stück 40 has 135 penetration, so it will penetrate. Here, yeah, he sacrifices the half track in a way. Now the Rhino can't penetrate the Stück, and here you see 90mm penetration against 100. This is why the Stück the Stück 4 is just so much better than the Stück 3. Counter push here. M1 gun being brought in. And now it's 15-9. Now again, free line of sight for the HMG. But here Astartes has safely secured this compound, as has Flix the compound in the north. The Vielfachwerfer going for the town. It's just the basics. So the cool thing with yeah, if you bring enough records, you have all the Marauders. Yeah, says Curse. And here the basics, they are falling back. That's good. So they get a defense buff while falling back, and they move back. Really hard to kill. Good push here with the Panzergren. The timing was ace. He was going for the surrender, but he doesn't get it. Okay, he's going for the Surge. That was a bit too bold. And another Rhino. Yeah, now this position is about to be lost completely. 13-11 only. And again the Vielfachwerfer shooting at a flag position. But reinforcements coming in. But there's a Pak 40 is now being shot at by the tank destroyer, by the Hellcats. They should be able to suppress it. It's two of them. It's one of them. Yeah, and suppressed. And now he's waiting to push into the town. I think this will be the deciding moment. How do these two pushes go? I mean, these two flags are currently already lost and still 13-11. But the preparation for this push, if this push works out, and then I think this is going to be very, very difficult. Now the leader here to upvet the infantry, good call. The late rifles are actually really good units with killing power as well. Both Panzergrenadiers here suppressed. No artillery gameplay at all by Flix, so no long-term or the like. And Kers thinks that the Hellcats are a bit late. Yeah, with all the suppression they can offer. It's just one Hellcat here. One hell of a cat. Now the mortar is firing. It's trying to cover the approach of the Stug. Mainly the Stug. Two more Shermans. Another Sherman here. 3 Shermans on the way. And Flix is fighting hard for this town. Yeah, the gain of the flags here is over, but I think that gave quite some nice points and ticks, and also forced Astartes to reinforce here. Now rifles here in position as well. Ooh, this Stug actually has line of sight on the reinforcement. This is a nasty position. Another Arado run. On the Rhino, presumably. No. The rifles late go down and the others get pinned down. Here the push. Well, push with a battery Führer. This one will go down. He needs to hop out the building. Tank destroyer goes down to the Stug 4. This Stug 4 is like a hero Stug 4, I think. No line of sight at the moment because of the smoke. Maybe Flix could hop forward here a little bit, but the buildings have been destroyed already. And the Vielfachwerfer is about to shoot here. You can see good micro. It's on hold fire, and then he will shoot once whenever it's ready, and then when he wants, and there will be no aim time. The Rhino's crew is panicking, and the Panzergrenadier is going in for the kill. But I think it was killed by the Panther. Oh bloody hell, I did not switch that off, I'm sorry. There was the follower thing in the way the whole time, I'm really sorry. And it will be on YouTube as well. Sorry for that. I need to group all those things and then deactivate them all at once the actual action starts. If Astartes wins, there will be a third game. And that's currently how it looks like a little bit. With the income advantage, and there's still quite a lot of ticks needed. And the Vielfachwerfer still on the battlefield. And Flix doesn't find a tool to take out the Vielfachwerfer. And I think now it even kills a Sherman. It's got some killing power, and it also and the rifles. It also does lots of suppression. There's the other Vielfachwerfer here in the north. About to shoot. And also he's fighting for this here. Reinforcements coming in for these two flags. More Panzergrens. There's nothing here to hold the line. There will be a tick now. Tick. So, income tick. Now they ran out of ammo. They need to be resupplied. Very good use here of the Vielfachwerfer again. With Astartes now controlling both flags. Ooh. The Panther D is hunting. And there's the GG. Yeah, congratulations first of all to Astartes and commiserations to Flix. Yeah, the trading was quite a bit better here for Astartes. I think that the use of the Vielfachwerfer was kind of a deciding factor in the game, and here it already started with some early kills, so the early push was denied, and also the flag in the center, the one I mentioned before the game that often gets is often taken by the blue player quite easily. It worked in this game as well. And Barbarian is crossing his fingers for Flix because he wants to fight against Flix. Then here, let's take a look at the hero units. This Ranger Marauder did a good job. The basics here. M1 gun. Hellcat did a good job killing the Stück 4. And losses, let's see the performance of the Puck here, the northern centralish Puck, I think that was. The Arado did get quite some kills. The Arados could roam freely basically the entire match. And the Vielfachwerfers as well. Now this Stück 4, the Stück 4 is just, yeah, I think it's just so much better than the Shermans. If you fight against a Sherman division, go for Stück 4s. Or look at this. Or Jagdpanzer 4s even. Even the Battery Führer got 2 kills. I think that was in the southern town. The lurking Panther Ds did get some kills. But where's the Vielfachwerfer? I did see the Vielfachwerfer killing something, at least I thought so. Like the one Sherman. Towards the end, and the rifles late. But I can't see a kill by the Vielfachwerfer, to be honest. But they played a vital role nonetheless. Yeah, and Barbarian actually first needs to defeat Vincent in order to play Flix, who also needs to win first. So we will see who will play. Yeah, let's take a look at what's gonna happen next. Going to ask. So I'm going to ask. Okay, they play directly, so we will play again. We will just stay in the chat and continue. So Noshalor, thanks a lot for your first time chat. Yes, it's 1-1 now. And there will be a third match right now. So they're doing picks and bans, and we just stay live for some more action. Let me quickly check things out. Okay, I want to prepare the information already, so what I can do now is activate this again. I will deactivate it, and I will end the YouTube stream now, the YouTube recording, and start the YouTube recording later. Thanks a lot, YouTube. Until then, bye for now.